Hey, I'm KevTV, and welcome to the Apollo League, a new online racing league for F1 2016 and the season opener around Australia. And I'm not going to show you the tyre allocation screen a lot during the highlights of these races, but mainly during the first half of the season. I was going for that softer option, even though it doesn't really make much difference apart from places like Monaco where there's virtually no tyre wear, so it makes sense to select the option. But after a while, I just got into the swing of selecting balance, and that's what I do at the moment. But here we are in our Renault for our first qualifying effort in this league, and you're going to see me be even more abysmal than I was in Formula Xbox, as this league started, I believe, 1 or 2 weeks before Formula Xbox, and I'd only got the game a few days prior to this race with only a couple of hours in it, so I wasn't really used to how to drive these cars in this game, how to be fast in this game. I really don't know how to do that yet. I'd say there's not much short shifting or engine braking, you'll see, or turning into corners and hitting apexes, as you see in that corner. You really have to turn in early into the corners in this game, really trust the grip and downforce of these cars, and I really did not trust Renault on this qualifying lap or during the race. I'm really disconnected from it. But you saw DLT retire earlier in this session. That may be why, because his Sauber's stranded in the middle of the road. You also saw the host get migrated halfway round this qualifying lap, and that's because Feedy was our host. Since he's rejoined, he was able to race as well, and he's one of the co-founders and co-runs the league alongside Hickey, who's my teammate in the Renault during this season, and he's a much faster guy than I am. He's probably going to be battling for podiums and wins as the season progresses, but I'm just battling to do this qualifying lap, maybe finish races as well, and score points depending on how those races go. But we crossed the line with a 1 minute 30.3, not acceptable, so we went on the softer tyres once again near the end of the session, trying to do a qualifying effort, and out of bogey corner it seems like we had lots of issues there in Formula Xbox during qualifying in the race. Well, that proved to be the case as well in the Apollo League and on this qualifying effort, so we're just building up to another qualifying run at the end of this lap as we come to the penultimate corner. Brake heavily, maybe hit the apex, that's optional, as now here we go through the final corner. Let's build up the speed, let's use the whole width of the track, maybe not the wall as well with the tyre. As you can see, the damage bottle much improved in this game, and as I found out, don't hit the wall with your tyre, as I do the walk of shame as Joey, and I'm just role playing. That's what he did a lot during the first half of the season, didn't he? But who grabs the maiden pole in the Apollo League is the Xbox One in the Williams ahead of the McLaren of Casey Legend, and Sam in the Ferrari 1 round here in Formula Xbox ahead of Feely, Sir Lane, Hickey and Colonel Cheto in the 4-cylinder, rounding out the top 7, making it 7 different teams in the top 7. Very realistic grid we've got here in the Apollo League, head of Lyric, Skull, Fisichella, and I'm last in 11th alongside CK, who did not do a qualifying effort in the Sauber, just like he did not do a qualifying effort in Formula Xbox. And I'm not going to show you the strategy screen either a lot during these highlights, but mainly again during the first half of the season I was selecting the 2-stop option, even though it says it's slower the game. I thought it would make up for my lack of pace. Being on softer tyres really was not the case. As we wait for the lights to go out, and now the Apollo League is underway. We'll have a safe run to the first corner like we had in Formula Xbox. Well, maybe not. Nick to the right hand side as my teammate gets wiped out by Casey Legend in the McLaren as he retires on the spot, and we make out a couple of positions, but we got to give them back as well. Someone was lagging there as the virtual safety car came out, so we got to give out a position to the McLaren of Skull, to Lyric as well in the manner, and a crab in a Williams on the soft tyres. We've got the LT on the medium tyres and the Sauber behind us. Also, once again, I've forgotten the controls in this game, just like I did it in my first race in this game. I showed that video on my other channel where you expect me to learn the controls, the very simple controls in this game, in 2 days. Well, you really do overestimate my brake capacity as we come to the end of the first sector and the end of the virtual safety on my first in the game. I'm all over the place. I'm looking at strategy. I didn't realise how to get up to speed. I'm running wide. I really did hold up DLT in his Sauber as he come to the middle part of the lap, and someone else has spun. It's the crab in the Williams, I believe. Lyric as well in the manner got caught up in that as we make a couple of positions up to 9th place now, and now here come the retirements. Hickey in my teammate Sadie. DLT in the Sauber, he's disappeared from behind us. Drastic Devil as well, and the crab in the Williams. They're all gone along with Casey Legend. Not even made it to the first corner, sadly, the McLaren driver, as we are now in 9th place ahead of Lyric in the Manor, and we've got Skull as well in 8th ahead of us in the McLaren, as we're going very slow towards the end of this lap. I think we're trying to pit. I think we're trying to decide the strategy, and once again we're distracted by, look at this, running wide, as Xbox One does the fast out of the race, so he still leads. As we go and make our first pit stop in the Apollo League. Let's see if we can slow it down for the pit speed line. There we go. And no, don't hit the accelerator, you idiot. We got caught speeding. Don't do that. We got caught speeding the pit. And I did get much better at that, hitting the pit lane speed limit, as we get a new fresh set of boots. Change our front wing just like we did in our first pit stop in Forza Xbox as well. And 9 seconds from the Renault boys. Very nicely done, as we rejoin the race in 10th and last place. So if we make it to the end, we're guaranteed at least a point, as we're over 23 seconds back of there. It's going to be a very quiet race for us, probably, as at the end of this lap we've got to make our pit lane speed penalty, a drive-through penalty, and this time we do actually, slow it down. And look how quick we take that. Very quick with the penalties in these games. I just cut out the boring part, but CK also pitted on that now to go onto the medium tyres, and here's Haas. Here's Sauber. I'm getting confused, as he did that in Forza Xbox in his Haas, and he does seem to like the medium tyres around here in Australia. And this is a tip for every driver: pay attention to the road. Don't look at your strategy screen. Don't get distracted by that. Oh, terrible driving from me, as we're under 20 seconds behind the rest of the field. No, we're not. We're 22 seconds behind the rest of the field on that Forza. 139, the comeback is on, as we miss the apex on the first corner, run a bit wide, using the curb, the track! And I did not learn from qualifying. You don't touch the wall with your tyre, as, let's speed up the walk of shame. We don't need to see this again. So yeah, my first race on the Apollo League, just as well as I did in Forza Xbox, as we're on board with the winner from that race, Sam, as there were some more highlights to this race. I think I brought out the virtual safety cars. He's having a much harder time in the Ferrari in this race. He's driving on an ice rink, it looks like, as Lyric pitted in his Manor from 7th on that 7, where you rejoin in 7th, and it's like he will, ahead of the Sauber and ahead of the Ferrari of CK on those medium tyres. But the Manor runs wide, kicking up some dirt, and Sauber nabs that 7th place from the Manor. So nice move there, and it looks like at the end of the lap, Colonel Checker also pitted from the lead of the race. I believe the honorary Canadian in his force in Jan. It looks like he rejoins in 4th place behind Sir Lane in the Mercedes. While we're showing you just someone making a pit stop, well, it's a bit significant towards the end of this race. He goes onto the super soft tyres, and there is Sir Lane in 3rd place, and in 5th, rounding out the top 5 is the Haas of CRL Physica. A nice race for him. As on to the final lap of the race, we've got a battle royale. You've got Feely and Xbox One, remember our Pulsar and Williams, they're battling for the maiden win in the Apollo League, and this was kind of the state of play for most of the race between them. It was just, around a second gap between them, but Feely had really reeled in the Williams in the final few laps of the race, and you saw Colonel Chillout get disqualified, and that's because he qualified on the soft tyres, the only guy to do that, and he started on the soft tyres, then he moved on to super soft tyres, but the game only recognised him using the super soft tyres. There was a glitch in the game, thankfully that's been fixed now, but unfortunately he lost 4th place. I'm not sure he got reinstated in the results in the end, as a leader, the Xbox One makes a Horlicks midway round this final lap of the race, and Feely takes the lead in his Manor as he go through the final couple of corners of this race. He's going to grab the maiden win in the Apollo League. Well, it's one of the co-founders, co-runners of it. Feely in the Manor. Great win from him. But what happened to the Williams on that final lap of the race? Was there some lag switch shenanigans from one of our co-founders to grab the first win in his league? You can take the spork off my neck now, Feely. You didn't do that. As he won ahead of the Xbox One with Sir Lane in 3rd. I think Chitok got 4th in the end, ahead of Fisichella, the Flying Squad, and Lyric, and Skull, the last finisher, in 7th or 8th, ahead of Sam and myself, who retired along with Drastic Devil, DLT. Lots of retirements in this first race of the Apollo League. Hope you enjoyed it. So now for watching. Now I'll see you for the second round.